Okay, so let's get started on gender diversity sourcing, that too especially on a free LinkedIn version of it. Definitely, we know various ways of sourcing for diversity when we have a LinkedIn recruiter, but wherein today what we're going to cover is how do we source for a diversity profile, basically a gender diversity profile of on a free version of a LinkedIn, direct and indirect. Direct is nothing but within the LinkedIn we'll be sourcing, and indirect, of course, that's X-ray search which we have generated even in our past sessions, especially for diversity. But there has been a couple of requests to have one particular session on diversity. So I would say today's session will only focus on diversity sourcing, direct or indirect from LinkedIn. And maybe additionally, if we come across some of the tips to source an additional diversity profile while doing our live sessions, we'll cover that also. Meanwhile, in case if anyone has any questions around sourcing diversity profiles, please feel free to ask as we go. Please feel free to pause me if you have any questions or any follow-up questions, and ask me. No worries. Don't really have to wait till the last to ask any questions. Maybe as we are proceeding, you can definitely raise your hand or unmute yourself and ask it immediately. So yeah, let's get started in the interest of time. So any idea how do we source for diversity profile directly on LinkedIn? Any thought process, any idea? Even in some of our previous session, we did cover uh, while discussing, but not in detail. Yeah,
If
sure.
we covered female developer, we already covered. That is part of the diversity hiring. Uh,
Maybe here and there in bits and pieces we have covered it, but not in detail. So I'm asking, like, in case if we have to go in detail only for sourcing diversity profiles, any idea how do we start with, how do we go about any inputs directly on a LinkedIn? Okay, let me just take it now. So let's say, again, as usual, most of the times my searches are for diversity. Nowadays, I'm pretty much focused on hiring diversity. So So as per the LinkedIn rule, we can use maximum five operators, which is a combination of five or a combination of or and. So let's say one or two operators, and is third operator, again or fourth, again or five. So we have used five operator in combination of five skills or five terms or anything. So I'll just click on people. So here we got a list of all the people around. Then let's say location. I'll say India. We'll change the location for later examples. And then let's say I just go here and maybe I'll use in title. Software engineer or software developer or MTS or SMTS or SDE. So how many R's here? 1, 2, 3. Then this is 4. Okay, let me add one more or. Software engineer or software developer or MTS, member of technical staff or senior member of technical staff or SDE, software development engineer, or people might write
Chef, we cannot remove that space after or and increase the number of designations.
we'll cover that in an extensive LinkedIn search. So till then, let's stick to the basics. Slowly we'll go to the advanced
Sure.
levels.
All right. Yeah. Thanks.
So there's a different session which covers utilizing LinkedIn to the optimal point of it and how to overcome the searches. So we'll cover in that session. Okay, so now we got 228,000 results. And again, from Java, Ruby, or C++, or Salesforce, SQL, or NoSQL, with titles having software engineer or software developer, or SDE or software development engineer, or MTS or SMTS, and all. So these titles might have been their current titles or might be earlier title, but in most of the cases, 90% of the cases, what I've seen is those are the current titles. If I go to the last page also, so those are the current titles. All right. Now from this, I wanted to filter for diversity. So there are various ways filtering for diversity. Let's say I just go for all filters, and I have an option of uh, selecting first name and the last names. So maybe first names, I start selecting uh, some of the diversity names. But as I mentioned, like in a free LinkedIn version, maximum 5 operators is what we can use it in case if you're not breaking any search limitations and if you're going with a normal rule, so that a LinkedIn is still optimal and not breaking the searches. So maybe a 5 or maybe a 6 names, we can use it in combination of 5 or let's say okay, so how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, or maybe all right, so I'll click on search results. So now, yeah, with that particular 5 names, we have around 1200 results who are matching. So similarly, if I have to go with name generations, then definitely I'll get the list of those particular diversity names and then go one by one. But given the set of diversity names are huge in the industry, I'm saying in India, if I say there are 2000 plus diversity names. So definitely I don't really have that option of giving, but the reason I've selected this um, 5 names because in my career of recruitment, I see most of the software engineers, specifically at diversity, having a combination of these 5 names. So that's reason maybe that one of the thought process over here. We could see like 1200 diversity candidates matching to this particular name who are software engineers and having those particular skills. So those are more generic names in India. Number of diversity candidates or diversity people have those particular names. I could say that. Like in our group itself, we have such similar names. Okay, so that's going with a name. If I'm using in a LinkedIn recruiter, then definitely LinkedIn recruiter would give me the option of giving up to 700 names in one searches. But as we are using a free LinkedIn recruiter, I could use maximum 5. So that's one way of doing it. So let me just go for all filters and just remove this particular names. So with this 5 names, it's decent enough, still got a good results. Now, second thing, what I can do as a second filter, I'll just go to all filter, come here, and in the schools, as we know, schools is something we can give unlimited because it's picked from the drop down. So I'll just type girls. When I said girls, it just said girls code. I'll search for it. Okay, no results found, still good.
Shiv, you can type women as well, so there would come
Yeah, we'll go.
Guru, yeah, GGSIPU, University for Women, for Girls.
We'll go. So I might not be aware of all the um, diversity list of diversity colleges or the universities. So I just type girls and maybe I'll start selecting which are the schools related to the girls in India. So after this, it's more interesting, but let me just cover this part of it. All right. So now I see some 30 results, but these are only the 14 institutes. So now I'm not really sure how do I filter for further list of colleges, which actually I'm not aware of. Even I don't have any list of colleges. If I'm working for some of the new territories or new markets, definitely I don't really have that handy list of colleges. If I have also, I'm not really sure if they're particularly a co-education institutes or they are basically women-based institutes or girls-based institutes. So let's say girls we have completed. Let's say women now. Copy it. Okay. So maybe additionally From 14 institutes, we went to 33. So we got 400 change result, but still I need further more institute, and I'm not really sure how to identify the name of those particular institutes. So in that way, I'll just go with the ABC approach. Girls, or just say girl A. Okay, now I started getting a list of um, institute which has a name girls, which are named by girl, and some or the other name like Devi Ahelya. Okay, some alphabet A is matching over there. Okay, Abeda, Atlanta, or over here Arts or Archer School, or Awadh, or Allahabad, or Asnols or Ashok. Okay, so I'll just select all those ones again. Okay, girls A. Okay, AB. Okay, now for AB, again, we got some of the names. So LinkedIn again goes with that name-based suggestion based on the alphabetical manner. So like this, again, as I see, again, I started getting a more number of results. So AB are very few, but let's say, let's finish it off. So A is completed. I'll go with B now. So I know it's a bit tedious and boring process, but again, that's a free version of it. Okay, now I was able to select up to 62. So what I would suggest, so in a same fashion, we can always go up to 100 colleges, then save a search and just bookmark it. So maybe I'll say G62. So next time, whenever I just wanted to visit the searches, I'll just go back and visit the searches. And maybe let's say I just wanted to change it something over here. So again, we have 34 diversity candidates from the 62 schools with the title software engineer or software developer or software programmer. So I would definitely say, let's start. You can just create a list of up to, maybe we can add up to 62, or to keep it more optimal, 70 is a good suggestion, maybe a girls A. Then after that, once the girls A is over, girls B is over, then again I'll take women or woman A. Or let me just see, India also matches. Okay, it's not taking, that is something I will take it from the drop down only. So I know it's a kind of a time-taking process, but completely understand. Though it's a time-taking process, but we have a decent enough results of a diversity for free of cost. So I'll just go in that way approach. Maximum, I'll try to add 100 schools and then bookmark. Let's say now, I'll say this is GW, a combination of a woman and combination of a girls school. So GW 75. So maybe we can start with G first 75, G second 75, G third 75, G fourth 75. So it goes like in that way. And then we can always come back and we can just search for those. So let's say if I just go here. So G62, G75. Again, if it is a G62, I can just come here, go for this G62 and search for all those diversity candidates. Similarly, again, I just go. I don't really have to run the search again from the beginning. So I just bookmark it just to keep it LinkedIn more optimal, and so that LinkedIn is not breaking the searches and giving some of the weird errors. So I'll just keep limited up to 75 to 80 colleges in one searches. I go with G. First I go with G, GIRL's girls, and then A. First, whatever the list of girls would come with the word girls, I would complete that. Then I would go with girls A. Then again, I would select all that. Then I'll go with girls B. Again, I'll select all that. Girls C, I'll select all that. Likewise, I'll go to girls XYZ. Similarly, once that searches are finished, then again, I come to women. I'll select all which are applicable. Then woman A, then woman B, then woman C. Likewise, woman till XYZ, I'll just go. And in that way, if I'm not even aware of the name of the colleges or institute, which are basically a woman focused, but still LinkedIn gives me a suggestion based on that. So that's one of the most optimal way of using it. Now, if you see, we have 100% of diversity results. Maybe one or two here and there, because those people might have worked in that colleges, or maybe those colleges from women focus, they change this to later on to co-education. or some use cases, but not more than um, 2 to 3% rather, I would say, like in this example also. So that search was for open for new opportunities. This search is across. So I'll just take a pause here. Any doubts, any confusion? Very simple, easy, and most efficient. One is like either a name, we just give a combination of 5555 names, 6 names. Otherwise, we can directly pick up from the entire database. Even names also is pretty much like if you see with just the 5 names, which are most frequently used names in India, with just that 5 names, we were able to get 1200 profiles. And the beauty of it, the best part and the beauty of it, in case if you're generating some employer referral sessions, okay, let's say this is for SDE looking for. If we're running some employer reference session, I can directly search this particular URL directly with my employees and ask them, just click on that particular URL and log into your own LinkedIn profile, and you'll be able to see that. So let's say, so here I have URP 11 to 15 years, URP, okay, let's say WURP. Okay, this is for 3 to 7 years and who are looking out for opportunities, and from some 121 schools. So let me just go over one of the search. (128G). (121). Okay, so let me just share this one search with you here in the chat, and then you click on that particular search. Why it is not taking? Come on, this should not be happening. I'm not able to copy paste there. Let me just keep it something short. Let's see this one. Strange. Let me send you in a WhatsApp group. Yeah, Marcel, you're correct. What Marcel is suggesting, she has seen in number of profiles that people are writing she, her, or hers. Yeah, that is also an additional filter. We can use it basically to search for people from co-education colleges. We'll come to there. Give me a moment. So yeah, now let's say if I just share this search with you, just click on the search. So what this search is doing, this search is actually searching for profile within my network. Okay, within my first, second, third degree network. So similarly, if you type in the same search, okay, if you click on the same URL, it will search for a profile within your network, within your first, second, and third degree network. So when I'm running the employer referral campaign with my employees, I'll just run out the campaigns saying that, okay, fine, these are the searches. What you have to do is like, just click on the searches. It might ask you to log in into your LinkedIn network. Just log in into your LinkedIn account. And then you'll be able to see a list of profiles which are in your uh, network, who might be looking out for or who might be matching our search criteria. Let's say now from here, if we go for first degree connections. So these are the people who are in the first degree connection. Immediately, I can just send a message and ask them in case if they're looking out for. But otherwise, um, uh, when I go for a kind of a searches which are more of open for jobs or something like that, seeking new opportunities or job change or open to work or new opportunities, looking for new opportunities. So these are all the people who are actually, in fact, looking out for the new opportunities in India, and all are URM profiles, diversity profiles. And I've selected here some 121 schools. And I can definitely route it through my employees. I would not show you the template, what kind of a template I just run through, because that's the official one. But otherwise, yeah, that's a thought process. I'll just share the searches with all of my employees and ask them just log in into your network. Once you click on these particular searches, they might have to log in into their LinkedIn account, and whatever the connections they see. Once you click on the first degree connections, you'll be able to see a list of people who are open for opportunities within this particular experience range and start referring them. Otherwise, people who are not in your first degree connection, maybe you can just connect, and it's easy. When people are mentioned like looking for opportunities, it's always easy where you can just connect and get the additional info and start referring. So it's not only you sourcing, you're just creating a searches, repositories, and sharing with your employees and generating the more employer referral leads. So that's one way of doing it.